welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is a welcome with a in the building. What's good? What's Gucci? Hope you're good. Hope you're well. Today's shout out goes to Kahuthia, and I appreciate you for watching my videos again, and I appreciate everyone who watches my videos over and over again. So this video, what I want us to do, I want us to go through my block list, like the people are blocked on my phone, and give the story times behind them. I don't know about you guys, but me, I can block people. Let's do it. So the first person on my block list, I've saved him as Chicken In. Let me explain. So about 4 years ago, honestly about 4 years ago, I'd come back from uni, and one of my cousins, shout out to you, Mr. Ian Minjiro, woo, woo, woo. So he's a rugby player. He was playing for Kenya. I think it was Kenya versus Uganda that day, and I'd gone with my other cousin, who was like my partner in crime, my G. He's my guy. You get me? My cousin, Mr. Roy. After the rugby game, Roy and I got hungry, so we went to buy food. And then I don't remember what Minji was doing. I think he was doing something with his rugby mates or something. Then we're like, okay, yes, we'll go get food. Then we'll catch up with you later. Because obviously later tulikuwa tunaenda wapi? Tulikuwa tunaenda kwenda Madunda. Madunda. I miss the club. So this is before the Dundang went to Chicken In, and there was this guy. So it looked like it was a couple and then him. So it was the two of them, because we were doing all lovey-dovey things, and he was sitting like opposite on the other side. And when we walked in, obviously I noticed him. I noticed the dark complexion and everything. Kasema, wow. And then also he was tall. So nilikuwa hapo tu just chungulia. We'll call him Chicken In because I met him at Chicken In. So I was looking at him, yeah. So nimwangalia, and then I saw him. You know that thing we do as girls? There's no way I'm going to hit on you. I will help you approach me. I looked again to confirm whether it's me he's actually shunguriang at, and I saw like now he was being straight up. He had even changed, because I remember he was sitting like this when we were at the counter, and then by now he was even changing his disposition, almost walking towards me. But you can see he's not walking towards me because I'm with another guy who is my cousin, but you don't know that. You get me? And I don't have to say. I barely remember how we started talking, but I feel like he approached me. And he was just like, hi, and I was like, hey, what's up? I'm just like, this guy is fine! Wow! Alafu anakuja anaanza kuongea, and I'm like, yeah, you're just nice to look at, to be honest. Yeah, no. Then as we were talking, he asked for my number. And then I left Chicken In. I think I talked to him like max 3 minutes max, and maybe even 5. Let's give him 5. Not gonna lie, I don't even remember his name. I just remember, like, even when we were talking, I just remember because he mentioned that I saw him at Chicken In. I just saved his name as Chicken In. Which is why even now when it's still blocked, it's saved as Chicken In, because I don't remember his name. So we didn't talk. That was like 2016 there. We didn't talk nada until last year when he sends me a photo of, so I put my WhatsApp profile picture of a photo of my mom and I that we took the Welp, and so cute. Oh my god. And he put like an emoji on it and was asking whether that's my mom or something. I'm not interested right now. I'm not different. I shopped at my rave and everything. So I just blocked him. Yeah. And that's why. The next person. Oh, this guy. Oh my days. I've talked about this in one of my videos, like the ones for time, like probably like 2017, 2018 there. Yeah, just peep that story time. I think I called it like stalker something. It's an old story time, but I've talked about this man's. The next number is by this other West African guy. I'm being very dramatic. It's not that dramatic. It's just an interesting story. So, you come to, I met him probably like 2016, 15, 17 there. And basically what I used to do is that I used to go to the student union, and I used to go there and study. If you go to a certain place quite often, and a lot of people do the same, then you'll recognize different faces. So that's what happened at some point. Then you recognize like the regulars. You get me? So he was one of the regulars. What do we call him? Let's call him Cable. Yeah, I could tell that he was a lot more mature. Like, I'd say he looked like in his mid-30s, and he'd ask me like, to random questions, like he'd ask me, and school related questions. So over time, through just random interactions, I found out that he was doing his PhD. He was obviously a lot maturer. I said like mid-30s, I could be wrong. I remember the first time this guy actually talked to me, he just walked up, like I was sitting at the desk, and then I saw this shadow, Swilingat, but this shadow wasn't moving. So I'm like, damn it, what do you want? Then he started speaking in some language, which I later came to find out was either Igbo or what's that, or Yoruba, some West Nigerian lingo. Obviously, I didn't understand, so I was like, huh? And he's like, oh, you're not Nigerian. I was like, no. Another time when I'd gone to the student union, Nakakuja, and he started talking to me about church. You get me? And akaniambia ati, oh, you should come check out our church. It's fun, it's vibes. There are a lot of youngins, there are a lot of students there as well. It's very youthful. And I was like, oh, cool, because that time I was looking for a church. So I was like, oh, cool. And then I come to find out that the church he's referring to was the church that this guy that I was seeing, the church that he used to go to. So I was like, oh, cool, that'd be nice. So I remember that weekend or the weekend following that, whatever, we went to this church. And the church was like those small upcoming churches. And after the church, they wanted you to register. So you say like your name, where you live, your just your information, because that church was very active, just with me, what's happening here, there. Anyways, when we went to that church, we found out that, what did we call him? Charger, Cable was the music something, or he was the director of people who come in something. But where I had written my details, I hadn't put my number. Cable came and he's like, oh, Wahura, you haven't put your number. And I'm like, for what? Why do I need to put my number? And then he's like, oh, we may have an event or something. Because they had a lot of like 2 activities going on, even with other churches or trips. They're like, yeah, we may want to reach out to you, or if something has changed, like maybe the time for our service has changed, then we can reach out to you. I was like, fine, that makes sense. He texted about like church and then asked me like personal questions. I felt like he would start getting a bit too personal. Like, if there's anyone I'm seeing, is there anyone I'm dating? And I just remember thinking to myself, does it matter? It doesn't matter. So at that time he messages me with another number, and it was the +234, which is the country code for Nigeria. And then I clicked on his profile picture and I saw that he was married. Like, literally his profile picture was a picture of him and his wife on the wedding day. Clean. One time. I said, I'm not the one. And I think at that point I had also left Newcastle. I think I was in Coventry. I think I was in Coventry or transitioning to Coventry. So I was like, I'm not even going to be back in Newcastle to go to this church and see you. So I can easily block you and move on with my life, which is exactly what I did. Oh my gosh, there's this, oh my days. Okay, screw. This one is a Canadian number. Yeah, this is a Canadian number. Hey, I don't even know where. Okay, let me tell you what happened. I got an email from this hotel in the coast, the Kenyan coast. And they're like, hey, what's up? Love your videos, love your content. Would like you to come to our hotel. We'll pay for everything. I said, come. So to exchange. Come to find out he's the manager of that hotel, or the owner, one of them. Can I also come with someone? He's like, yeah, you can come with someone. Now around this time, my brother had also come back. I think he had come on holiday. So I was like, oh, I've gotten this deal. We could go together. Let me ask them if you can come. So I asked them and I'm like, oh, now I'm set on a date because my bro is here and want to go, like, my siblings, my boys. Cool beans. At this point, like, we've gone back and forth for some time. Then he asked for my number. You notice, this conversation is not sounding like very business like from your end. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just sounding a bit off. I remember I asked my manager to read the emails. There's just something about this that's just not sitting right with me. So just read and tell me if it's in my head. And she read it and she's like, yeah, this is definitely weird. I think you need to be clear about what you want and just be as official and professional as possible. I said, calm. So that's how I continued the messages. Now at this point, so we exchanged numbers. So he calls me one random time, one random day, as we're there emailing. He calls me and he's like, hey, Mahura. This is how it started. Literally.
I don't like that you're going to come with your brother. I don't like that you're going to come with another guy.
What? What are we talking about? What do you mean? Also, because at this point, I'm like, I bloody knew it. I basically told him that I won't be coming anymore. And he still continued to message me. And I remember the first time I just saw the message, I didn't even open it. I'm not even gonna bother. Then he sent again. I said, I'm going to open so that you can see I've opened, and then I'm ignoring you. Alafu akatuma tena. I'm like, bruh, he's going to talk to himself. Ha, watch and could block. So I blocked him, and I remember also at the same time he had texted me with another Canadian number. So I blocked that line as well, and yeah. I've saved this guy as Oilibia because I met him at Oilibia. So what had happened was the high school I used to go to, there used to be this guy. He used to work in one of the offices. I saw him at the place where I used to work. First when I saw him, I was like, hey, this guy looks familiar. I've seen him. And he's a grown man. He has grey hair. He's Indian. He's the whole shabam. Like he's a man. He's even like borderline, almost like a bukaish. I said, I know where I know you from, B. I know you from high school. But then because I'm not remembering like where I know you from, I don't interact too much. I saw him now another time when I was going to put fuel. And ironically, this petrol station is close to my old school. So as I'm putting fuel there, he was also putting fuel in the next store. And I see him see me, and I see him also. And then he walks towards me, like where I was standing, and he's like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, oh, hi. Then he's like, oh, you work at the building that I work at. He's named the place where I used to work at. Let's call it Yogurt. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I do. He's like, oh, I've seen you there around. I'm like, yeah. I don't think he remembered me from high school, but he just talked like we're just like colleagues working in the same area. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just here. I'm just working. I'm a TV host. Then tells me about his business. He's like, yeah, they were making bank. Hey! Cash dollars. He started telling me about how much like he was now offering me a job. It seemed like quite reasonable, but I was like, okay, thanks for sharing. Anyway, gotta go about my evening. It was lovely talking to you. Obviously, in the workplace, as I was telling you, I used to see him in that building. So I'm parking the car, I see him, he says what's up. Every time he has something that he thinks I can be good for. Then he asks, he's like, yeah, give me your number and I can let you know, I can hit you up about something or whatever. I don't know, I can't remember, just something. And I said, cool, let me give it to you. 07, I think the next day, he calls me. You don't have access to my life like that. Hey, relax. Who panic. So he called me, I picked up, then we talked. He's asking me, I'm in the office. He's like, we should go for coffee. I said, I've actually just eaten because we used to be given food at the office. Anyway, I need to get back. Bye. Disconnected, hung up. And I think he WhatsApped me that evening just saying hi. I could just say hi. What am I supposed to respond to that? Obviously, I ignored because I'm not understanding what we're talking about here, to be honest. I was out here networking. You get what I'm saying? Because you never know. The next day, I think he called me again. I said, I'm not picking. Then he texts me saying how he's been trying to call me. I'm like, B, you called once. Even if you've been trying to call me, I've been trying to not talk to you. They say. I think I responded probably like the second WhatsApp. And then he called another time and I picked. And I was just like, I don't know, that day. Because you know it depends on my mood. And then I'm like, oh, you're still trying to waste my time, B. Damn it. I have to block him. Like as we were talking, I was like, this guy doesn't know boundaries and he's not listening to me. And I don't owe him anything. So I blocked him and it was really awkward for a couple of months because I used to still see him in that. Because remember, we work in the same building. I'd see him see me drive in. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I don't want to do this. I don't know why I end up in such stupid situations. Like they're so silly and very unnecessary. I hope business is going well for him and I hope everything's doing Gucci. I don't work at that place anymore, so obviously that solved a lot of my problem and I don't need to avoid him anymore. I just don't see him. I've saved weirdo 1. This was the other day. And I had to save their number because I also wanted to block them on WhatsApp. So that when I change my number, you don't have my new number. And the only way I can block you on WhatsApp is if I save your number. So that's why I've saved them as weirdo 1 and weirdo 2. So about a month ago, there's this number that called me. This is a Kenyan line number. And I feel like these people who are doing these things, now video, I know, you know yourself, my G. I'm talking to you. So this number called when I was talking to one of my besties. Shout out to you, Chiquita. Mwah. Samaha, love you, boo. So I'm talking to her. This number calls and it doesn't have like a name on it. So I'm like, oh, I know who this is. So I told her, wait a minute. I'll call you back. Because what has happened, especially now, is that people, businesses, get your number and they call you, then they introduce themselves, and then that's how you move about. So I thought like this is probably like a business opportunity. So I called back the number and they were like, Niaji. And I could tell like you've been put on speakerphone. And I could hear like people snickering and giggling in the background and just like a lot of muffle and man noises. And I'm like, but lightly, like chini ya maji. So I'm like, hey, hi. Then they just went quiet. So I'm like, hello. But I'm hearing like people talking in the background. So I'm like, okay. So I hung up. 2 seconds later, the same bloody stupid idiot number. This stupid number calls me again. So I pick. Benefit of the doubt still. Here we are still in the green zone. Second time they call, I pick. But I just said it's a wrong number because I wasn't understanding what they were saying. They were saying some things in Swa and Sheng. And I was just like, not that I don't understand Kiswahili, don't get me wrong. So then I hung up. Then again, the same number calls me. I said, calm. These guys are trying to take the piss now. You trying to piss me off? Hey, I'm not going to give you that time. I'm going to block your ass. Maybe third time is a charm. So I pick and he's like, unajuaje ni wrong number. And I'm like, are you playing with me? You clearly know you're talking to me. That's my issue. I feel like the wrong person got my number and now they're just calling me and now you want to play games with me. So I blocked that number. Another line, same +254, another line called me. I pick. It's the same reception. Someone just trying to talk to me and trying to make fun, like joke, like they would say like a silly joke and people would behind them would start laughing. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are we in freaking year 2? Grow the up, B. So I blocked that number. Another number calls me, this 254 shit. So I knew. I said, I'm not picking this one. I blocked that one. I ended up blocking like 5 numbers that night. I was so disgusted by how you sending hi at the HAE. No, you need to respect yourself. And that just chokozing me. That's the word. They were chokozing me. And I was so triggered because low-key, let me tell you, I low-key know who gave them that number. And it's because of that, I'm going to get a new number because I've been getting many weird people calling me. I'm going to get a new line. You guys blow up this phone. Blow it up. Call it. Now the last guy that I had to block. So what had happened was I went to this store, right? And I was doing business there. I get out. We're still in the store. We're out of the office, right? I get out. And as I get out, I see this guy who looks, he does the double take. Bahura. I'm like, whoa, what's up? How you doing? You're so smiley and he's like, ah, yeah, you're around. This where you are. I'm like, yeah, what's up? He's like, oh my god, I'm such a fan. I love your content. I'm such a subscriber. I love you, nah. I'm like, damn, thanks. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for the support. I really appreciate you. Which is what I do. If I don't say it enough, I appreciate your eyeballs and your active engagement and your support. Really, honestly. Like, let's say he sells spoons. So he shows me the spoons he sells. He tells me, yeah, I get them from Dubai and then I sell them here, or I have clients, but I don't have clients on the digital platform. And he's like, you would be perfect. And I'm like, therefore, I would be. So tumeongea mostly about work, my work and his work. And at the end of that conversation, he's like, can you give me my number so I can reach out to you and we can discuss this further? Because he had gone to come to that shop to buy something. Seeing me was just like a bonus, you get me? So I gave him my number. Cool. At that point, I'm stoked. Hey, I've never used that word, but I'm stoked. You know, I'm excited to just, to get spoons. After that night, he sends me an audio note on WhatsApp. What am I doing or not doing? What? Somebody help me. So I listened to the audio note, and the audio note, it sounded like he was in a car singing along to music. Amimba, and it was those my lovey-dovey love songs. It was like a 20 to 30 second audio note, my lovey-dovey audio, na. It also sounded like he was lit. I could have gone the rest of my life without having to listen to that. You get what I'm saying? Cool. So I texted back and I said, was that for me? Let me give this guy benefit of doubt. Did you send that by mistake? I was not happy with it. Oh, he sent it by mistake. I said, that's alright. I just hope in your heart of hearts that you realize this is just be a chala. So another time, I remember he texted me in the evening on WhatsApp. Nothing related to work. And I was just like, I'm not the one. I'm just looking for ways not to block him. Because if it's not biashara, I'm blocking him. So I reached out to him. And the way he was responding, Mtu alikuwa na ego. Hey, he was on his high horse. I said, me, I'm not here to beg you for spoons, my G. He said, what have you done to prove yourself? Nikasema, boo, baby. Hey, catch this block. Catch this block. I didn't even respond to that. I just lingered. I said, it's fine. It's cool. Count your losses. Let's move on. Block on Instagram, block on everything, block. No, I didn't block him on Instagram. I blocked his number on WhatsApp, blocked his number, and I was like, it's fine. I'm going to get a spoon just from another place, and it's fine. So those are the people I've blocked, and the stories behind the people that I've blocked. I haven't gone through all the people I've blocked. I hope that you enjoyed this video, that you enjoyed these story times. As usual, if you want to have a more intimate relationship with me, you can follow me on my social medias at Wahura Kabutha on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok. Follow me. Bye! Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening, morning, afternoon, whenever you watch this. Take care, and I'll see you in my next video. Okay, you'll see me on my next video. You know what? It's fine. We can share that. Insert end of the sentence. What? Why did I block this person? I don't know why I blocked this person. I don't even recognize the name. What was I saying? What was I saying? Fucking hell. What was I saying? This is lip stain, by the way. What's your problem? I just want to be your friend. I just want to be your friend. That's all I want to do. I just want to be your friend. You know the drill. I'm sure by now you know the drill. I'm sure. I believe in you. You know? Yeah.